Hi, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm Orlando Ruiz Jr., and welcome to another classic movie review. I am talking about a 1942 black and white film, sports biopic drama about the life of legendary baseball player Lou Gehrig, starring the great Gary Cooper. I am talking about The Pride of the Yankees. This was directed by Sam Wood, who prior to this had directed a couple of Marx Brothers films like A Night at the Opera, A Day at the Races. He also directed Our Town and also worked with Gary Cooper on uh, For Whom the Bell Tolls, I believe. Gary Cooper, he was in Sergeant York. He was in Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. One of my all-time favorite westerns, High Noon from 1952. If you haven't seen that, you should check that out. That is a great, great western. Also in the film is actress Teresa Wright. She was in The Best Years of Our Lives and Alfred Hitchcock's Shadow of a Doubt. In this film, she plays the role of Eleanor, the love interest, and she gives a great performance. She was nominated for an Oscar for this. We also have Elsie Jennison as Mother Gehrig. We also have Ludwig Stossel as Father Gehrig, Walter Brennan as Sam Blake, the sports writer who is like Lou Gehrig's main champion throughout the film. He's like his big fan that's always on his side. You'll also see some real life Yankee ball players in this movie, kind of adding some real authenticity to the whole thing. People like Mark Koenig, Bill Dickey, Bob Musil, the great Bambino himself, Babe Ruth, who was actually a pretty decent actor, I have to admit. Seen quite a bit of movies where, there were sports people trying to do a part in like big movies. Like, of course, the big one is Michael Jordan, who got by on charisma alone in Space Jam, but it's not always done very well. Just watch movies like Steel with Shaquille O'Neal or Double Team with Van Damme and Dennis Rodman, and not every athlete is good on the screen, but yeah, here, not bad. The Babe, got to give it to him. At the very start of the movie, we see Lou Gehrig as a little boy, and from the very beginning, we see that he has a real love for the game of baseball, and he's watching other kids play. He wants to get in on a game, and the only way he can really get in is to trade up some trading cards. But the one card he won't trade, of course, is the great Bambino himself, Babe Ruth. He keeps that one, but they let him play, and they see what he's capable of, and then we see pretty soon him playing as a bit older in his college years, and we flash forward to him in his college years, and I gotta say, Gary Cooper in the role of Lou Gehrig is terrific. He's great in the role, but for a good quarter of the film, it is Gary Cooper as a young Lou Gehrig. So I gotta say that was a little bit off-putting because just by on looks alone, didn't look like a very young man, and he's playing, somebody in his college years. So I gotta say, yeah, that I gotta admit, it did take me out of the movie. So ever since he was little, Lou Gehrig was very good at baseball, and as he got older, he got even better. And ever since he was little, his mother, even though she knew what his passion was, she wanted him to go into something like being an engineer, like her brother, like his uncle Otto, and he's like the big example, be an engineer like your Uncle Otto. So he doesn't want to let his mother down, and he's very much working towards that goal while he's in college. But his mother gets sick. He wants his mother to have the best medical care and the best that money can buy, and so because they don't have much money and they're poor and everything, he figures joining up with the Yankees and just becoming a professional ball player is the only way to go, and that's what he does, and abandons the whole becoming an engineer thing, which eventually mom finds out, and that's a really good scene in the movie too. She's not too happy about that, and it's really great to see where it goes from there. There is some baseball in this movie. There's a couple of scenes of playing ball, and there's a couple of montages, but for the most part, it really isn't a baseball movie in terms of having a lot of baseball in it. It's mainly about the life of this guy. It's more of a tribute to this guy, Lou Gehrig, and a love letter to this baseball legend, and mainly about his relationship with his family, his love life, his camaraderie with the teammates, what he went through when he first joined up, how they gave him a hard time. There was quite a bit of ribbing, practical jokes. There's a great moment where the team is traveling by bus to one of their games, and Babe Ruth just got a new hat, and he's like, "You guys leave this one alone. Don't mess with this one." And he hangs it up, and the guys start passing it around without the Babe knowing it. They all take a bite out of it, and they hand it to Lou Gehrig, and he takes a bite, and the babe is like a little close to him, but with his back turned. He's like, "Take another one." This guy says, "Take another one." Takes another one. He turns around and sees him, and looks like he's ganging up on him and stuff for a second. Little stuff like that. It's really funny. And then, of course, because he's such a good ball player, Lou Gehrig, everybody eventually warms up to the guy. I love the moment with this kid in the hospital where Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth are talking to this kid. At first, Babe Ruth is talking to the kid, and the kid says, hit me a home run. And the Babe says, I'll hit two for you. And then it's Lou Gehrig's turn to talk to the kid who is in the hospital sick. And he wants Lou Gehrig to basically do the same. He's like, hit me a couple of home runs. This kid is pretty demanding. I know he's a sick kid, but even one home run is hard enough, right? There are many things to like about this movie. There is a lot that this movie has going for it, because not only do we have a sports movie, but we also have a love story. The movie really is a love story at its core, because the relationship between Eleanor and Lou Gehrig, it really is the heart and soul of the entire film. Very much like when you watch Rocky. When you watch Rocky, that first film, you realize soon after the midway point, you're not watching a boxing film, you're watching a love story. It's the same thing with The Pride of the Yankees. And the character of Lou Gehrig as this real humble, kind of real gentle soul is kind of inspiring. The way that he's played by Gary Cooper, who is so good in this part, you're really kind of feeling like you're watching one of the great actors work while watching this movie. Most movie fans that might seek this movie out probably already have an idea or know something about what happened to Lou Gehrig, but I'm sure there are some people that don't. But for the most part, the majority of people that saw this film when it came out, it wasn't a spoiler what was going to happen at the end, because the real life Lou Gehrig succumbed to his ultimate, fate a year before this movie came out, 1941. He was 37 years old. I do remember being a little kid in elementary school and reading a book in the library about Lou Gehrig and his life. So I remember a long time ago learning about Lou Gehrig's disease, and growing up, you don't really learn the actual technical term, but now that I'm an adult, I can tell you it is amyotropic lateral sclerosis, which is a nervous system kind of disease that affects the cells to the point where the muscles are weakened. And that's basically what happened to Lou Gehrig. And so there is a point in the film when he's playing and he realizes that he just can't move his arms. He can't do much, or it's just like stiff. And the movie every now and then gives a bit of foreshadowing, and those moments, if you know that little bit of history about the person, they're just sad. And because Gary Cooper is so damn good in the part, there are moments that might make you tear up. I know I did. I teared up at least twice. The Pride of the Yankees from 1942. I give this movie 3.5 stars. If you're into black and white movies, good dramas, good baseball movie, check this one out. Highly recommend it. This is my copy here. Got a DVD. But, you might be able to find it on streaming every now and then, Amazon Prime, stuff like that. Thank you all very much for watching this classic movie review. I always appreciate it. If you're into classic movies, if you're new to the channel, if you're into this kind of thing, hit the bell, subscribe, and please don't forget to comment, share, like, always helps out. If you're a returning viewer, please don't forget to look out for the next classic movie review. Thank you very much for your support. See you next time. Thank you very much. Peace out, take care, and God bless.